Italy jokes, Italian jokes. Short Italy jokes. Q. Why did the mafia cross the road? A. Forget about it. Q. What do you get when you cross an Italian and a Jew? A. Olive Garden. Q. How can you tell if an Italian is in the mafia? A. His favorite dish is broken leg of lamb. Q. What is a four-letter word in Italian for goodbye? A. Bang. Q. What do you call an Italian who marries someone Polish? A. A social climber. Q. What do you call an Italian hooker? A. A prostitute. Q. How does every Italian joke start? A. By looking over your shoulder. Q. What's the difference between a smart Italian and a unicorn? A. Nothing, they're both fictional characters. Q. Did you hear about the winner of the Italian beauty contest? A. Me neither. Q. Did you hear about the Italian chef that died? A. He passed away. Q. What does FIAT stand for? A. Fix it again, Tony. Q. If you're American in the living room, what are you in the bathroom? A. European. Q. What do you call a Roman with a cold? A. Julius Sneezer. Q. Why are Polish jokes so short? A. It's so the Italians can understand them. Q. Why wasn't Jesus born in Italy? A. He couldn't find 3 wise men or a virgin. Q. Why don't Italians have freckles? A. Because they slide right off. Q. Why did Pope Benedict have reservations about accepting his papacy? A. It meant moving to an Italian neighborhood. Q. Why don't Italians eat fleas? A. They can't get their little legs apart. Q. How can you identify the Italian at the cockfight? A. He's the one who bets on the duck. Q. What's a surefire way to know you are Italian? A. You are 5'4", can bench 350 lbs, and you still cry when your mother scolds you. Q. What do you call an Italian with his hands in his pockets? A. Mute. Q. A couple ways to know you're an Italian in the 21st century. A. You just tried to enter your password on the microwave. Q. How do you know if you're Italian? A. You have a list of 15 phone numbers to reach your family of 3. Q. What does FIAT stand for? A. Frenzied Italian at traffic lights. Q. Did you hear about the 21-year-old Italian girl who knelt in front of the statue of Madonna? A. She said, "You who conceived without sin, let me sin without conceiving." Q. How do you impress an Italian man? A. Show up naked, bring beer. Q. What's an innuendo? A. An Italian suppository. Q. What do you call a pimple on an Italian? A. A grease fitting. Q. How do you brainwash an Italian? A. Give him an enema. Q. What language do the Vatican police speak? A. Pig Latin. Q. Which is the most biggest rope? A. Europe. Q. What do you call an Italian with an IQ of 180? A. Sicily. Q. Why do Italian men have mustaches? A. So they can look like their mothers. Q. Why are most Italian men named Tony? A. When they got on the boat to America they stamped to New York, Tony, on their foreheads. Q. Why do Jews put their trash in clear bags? A. So the Dagos can go window shopping. Sophia. Sophie just got married, and being a traditional Italian was still a virgin. On her wedding night, staying at her mother's house, she was nervous. But mother reassured her. "Don't worry, Sophie. Luca's a good man. Go upstairs, and he'll take care of you." So up she went. When she got upstairs, Luca took off his shirt and exposed his hairy chest. Sophie ran downstairs to her mother and says, "Mama, Mama, Luca's got a big hairy chest. Don't worry, Sophie, says the mother, all good men have hairy chests. Go upstairs. He'll take good care of you. So, up she went again. When she got up in the bedroom, Luca took off his pants, exposing his hairy legs. Again Sophie ran downstairs to her mother. Mama, Mama, Luca took off his pants, and he's got hairy legs. Don't worry. All good men have hairy legs. Luca's a good man. Go upstairs, and he'll take good care of you. So, up she went again. When she got up there, Luca took off his socks. And on his left foot he was missing 3 toes. When Sophie saw this, she ran downstairs. Mama, Mama, Luca's got a foot and a half. Stay here and stir the pasta, says the mother. This is a job for Mama. First day at Harvard. Vinnie Calabrese, right off the boat from Italy, was excited about being accepted at Harvard University. On his first day on campus, he was walking around looking for the library. He saw an upperclassman standing by a tree, walked up to him and said, "Hey Piasano, coulda you tella me where is at a library at?" The upperclassman said, "Here at Harvard we never end sentences with a preposition. Would you like to rephrase that question?" "Okay, for a you, no problem, Piasano," said the Italian. "Tella me, do you know where is at a library at, you asshole?" Italian businessman. A Italian businessman on his deathbed called his good friend and said, "Luigi, I want you to promise me that when I die you will have my remains cremated." "And what," his friend asked, "do you want me to do with your ashes?" The businessman said, "Just put them in an envelope and mail them to the IRS and write on the envelope, 'Now you have everything.'" Phone call. 3 men want make phone call from hell to remind to their relatives about its harsh conditions. Their nationalities were American, Italian and Ethiopian. So they decide to go to devil who is the boss. So the American made a call and the devil made him to pay $100, then an Italian made a call and the devil made him to pay €10 on fact that Italy is less developed than that of USA. Lastly an Ethiopian made a call and the devil made him to pay a cent. Both the American and Italian complain as it is not fair and the devil responded to them. The Ethiopian call was a local call whereas yours was an international call. The foreigner. Once there was a man that came from Italy to America, he couldn't speak English so he went to choir and learned how to say me 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 me. Then he went to the store and saw a little girl say he stole my dolly. And on his way home he went to get meat from the butcher and learned how to say big butcher knife big butcher knife. Then he went home and watched an air freshener commercial and learned how to say plug it in plug it in. Then he went to the store and there was a murder. The police said, "Who killed this man?" The foreigner said, "Me me 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 me." The police said, "Why did you kill him?" And the man said, "He stole my dolly." The policeman said, "What did you kill him with?" The man said, big butcher knife big butcher knife." Then they took him to jail and sentenced him to death. The policeman said, "Any last words?" And the foreigner said, plug it in plug it in." Antonio. Old Antonio is a tight ass with his money, reckons he is going to take all his money with him when he dies. Maria, his good wife of many years, protests profusely, "Antonio, you Canada take the money, what about me and the children?" Antonio replies, "Screw you bitch, it's my money and I earned it." So duly on the day of Antonio's funeral, Maria and the kids are crying over Papa's coffin, when one of the children speaks up, "Mama, you didn't give Papa the money, did you?" Maria replied, "Yes, I gave the dead bastard his fucking money, it's in a check, let's see him cash that." Ships. You know how American ships' names begin with USS, which stands for United States Service. Then there are British ships, which names begin with HMS for Her Majesty's service. So why do Italian ships' names start with AMB? ATNTSA my boat.